Hi, this is Helen Clancy, your instructor, and I just wanted to give you a little bit more guidance on the NP Practice Proposal assignment. Please look at the source documents when you hear this, and we'll walk through them together. It begins by just talking to you about what a business plan is. And for you to open a practice, you would probably have to submit a business plan to a bank to get a loan. Even though you might have some monies to set up a practice yourself, to have a line of credit, to buy equipment, to get contracts with different insurance companies, they want to know that you've got a line of credit with a bank. So you need to have a business plan. And this assignment is giving you information on all the complexities of establishing a business plan. There's a business plan title template sheet that you will fill in. And then the table of contents. Usually when a bank gets a business plan, they like the table of contents. They'll look through it and they'll just go to the sections that they feel will give them the most information to make a quick decision. So the table of contents might not be completed until the second part of your paper. Also, with the executive summary, you will be doing that last, so it will not be in the beginning part of your paper. But the first part of your paper will include the general company descriptions, and that is in the template, and you can take a look at it. This is short little information. It doesn't need to be written in APA or whatever. If you want them to look at a reference for some data that you collected as to what type of a population you want to treat, certainly you can put that in the business plan, but again, keep it short and sweet. If you want to be a sole proprietor, a partnership, a corporation, an LLC, or whatever type of business you plan that you or business you want to establish, you need to put that in. The second part is products and services. And if you're going to do a pediatric practice, you might want to address there's not that you're going to do one in North Syracuse, and the closest pediatric office with a group of physicians is like 10 miles away from the most popular area of North Syracuse or Clay. You want to give reasons on why you would establish a practice in the location you're doing and what type of services are you going to be provided. And then you can just walk through the other parts of it. You need a marketing plan. Marketing is expensive. Look at what the sample sheet shows you at marketing and address those issues. This next section is, who's going to be your competitors? Who are you competing against to draw patients? Why is your niche a little bit different? What is your strategy? How you're going to promote it? And what is going to be your promotional budget? Maybe a little bit about pricing. What type of insurance? Is this going to be private pay? Are you going to have an indemnity plan? Or are you going to be in some type of provider, PPO, preferred provider, or an HMO? Or are you going to be accepting Medicare and Medicaid? Those type of questions need to be asked. And you can certainly ad-lib a little, but have some good statements. Like if you're going to be taking Medicare and Medicaid, what is the going rate for the type of services you're going to be provided? Your operational plan, how big of a place do you need? What type of employees do you need? What type of insurance coverage do you need? The next page has personnel on there. Remember, you might want to be a sole proprietor and just have another RN there. Again, that'll limit the volume of the work you can take. But, play around with it, because the more you think about it, the more you'll realize, well, gee, I would love to do that, but that would have I would have to have 3 or 4 extra personnel to have that. And then when you have personnel, you have to have benefits for them. So it gets to be quite complex. And then reimbursement fees and billing procedure. I really recommend to nurse practitioners who want to start their practice is bring in as many consultants as you can. Go to an already established billing company that does billing for NP's practices. That's something you do not have to take on. We have several here in Syracuse, COP collections that have had years of practice. They do very well with billing. You certainly don't want to get in any trouble with billing. and you probably will have somebody from Medicare and Medicaid come and visit your practice before you can start billing for those types of visits. And the management organizations, and are you going to have a board of directors? And if you have a board of directors, who are you going to put on it? Are you going to use an accountant? Certainly you would need to have an accountant and insurance brokerage. And I encourage nurses that want to do this to, when they give their business plan to their bank, have a meeting with the bank and ask who are their preferred providers. Do they have an agency that they work with that does billing for medical practices? Do they have an agency they work with that does accounting or insurance coverage for medical practices? So the more connections you can make with your bank that will be giving you your line of credit, the higher probability that that bank's going to give you that loan or establish that line of credit. And then you don't have to do a financial page, but it's included in there, as well as the profit and loss statement. Again, I just put that in there for informational purposes. The students that have gone before you and had to do that part of the practice felt it was just above what they knew. They hadn't taken accounting, they hadn't taken a finance course. So I kind of scaled this assignment down, and certainly want you to have the information in front of you to look at, but it's not making it a part of your assignment. So again, your first part of your paper will include the table of content titles of the general company description and what are your product and services. The second part of your proposal would be your marketing plan, your operational plan, your management and organization, on startup expenses. Remember, you don't have to buy equipment. You should rent it. Equipment is getting so outdated so quickly that you really probably want to rent it. And also one of the advantages of renting it is the company will do the maintenance work on it. So, think about those things when you're talking about your startup expenses. Your second part of your paper will include your table of contents and your executive summary. And the executive summary shouldn't be more than a half a page, and it should really attract that lender that will be looking at you. Again, this is information that many nurse practitioners want when they're out in the field, but you can put it on your resume that you understand the business side of running a primary care clinic, and that's very attractive to doctors that are looking to hire you, or an organization that wants to hire a nurse practitioner for primary care, because no margin, no mission. So hopefully this helps you a little as you start putting together your practice proposal. Again, I wouldn't spend more than, at the most, a page on each of the subheadings. And if you have any questions, email your instructors or your professors, and we'll try to get back to you with guidance as soon as possible. Again, thank you, and I hope you have fun with this project. It's meant to be a fun assignment.